Greg knows this more than any of us. A win in the NFL is a win. And every win is tough and hard to come by. Sure. So I will take it, especially when you're 5-5 and need every W. But they didn't look great. Now, what I will say, though, is this. If one of their areas needs to look bad, right? Because with the Ravens, it's been something. It's the special teams. It's the penalties. It's the defense. The defense obviously playing well. Special teams and all that's been fine. It's the offense right now, and in particular, Lamar.
Yeah.
Yesterday was his first 0 touchdown, 2 interception game ever, which is saying a lot. What's this, his 8th, 9th year? And so I'll say this, though. If one area is not playing well, I would like it to be the offense because I have the most confidence in them turning it around. Right. Like, I feel very strongly that Lamar, Derrick Henry, and company will get things going offensively. So, with that said, I will take the win. The robe, not yet. That's for darn sure. But 5-5, still feeling good about them, and they'll keep moving toward super. I feel extremely confident they'll win the division.
Even after the Steelers got a win yesterday?
Yes.
Okay.
But right now, they do not look like a Super Bowl contender.
Correct.
Even if the Chiefs, by some way, don't make the playoffs, the Ravens don't right now look like the team that's ready to take the torch. So they still have a ways to go. But I think they'll get there.
Yeah, interesting to me, like, you talk about their offense. I'm just going to talk strictly about Lamar Jackson. He can't play like that. And there's a couple levels to this. Not only, obviously, the interceptions, and regardless of how they were
right, they weren't all
thrown,
his
the
fault,
tips, whatever. It is what it is. The frustrating thing to me when I watch this amazing, electric player that we've not seen in our game, Michael Vick, obviously, closest thing to him. He doesn't use his legs anymore. He just does not.
He's 100%.
I don't care, Wiles. Okay. And I'm going to tell you why.
I don't. Close enough.
I'm going to tell you why I don't care. And I don't mean I don't care if he's not 100%.
Yeah.
I don't care that if he isn't 100%, he doesn't even show the thought of using his legs. Because he has to understand he is the biggest and greatest threat that the Ravens have. I get Derrick Henry, and we all want them to run the ball and their identity and all the things. If they are going to throw the ball at the level that they are choosing to throw it with Lamar Jackson, and he's going to choose to extend plays the way that he extends plays and still take those hits, use your legs. Just use your legs.
Extend the play forward.
Be a threat.
Yeah.
Be a threat and impose your will on the defense to now make them pay attention to what you are and have always been as a running quarterback. I get it. They don't like that narrative.
Yeah, but it's part of one of the reasons, and this is where I'm trying to have a big holistic Lamar combo here. But remember in the offseason when they were like, if you remove running, Lamar's the greatest the passer of the football of all time. And I had the crazy take. I'm like, I don't know. Peyton Manning was pretty good at throwing the ball. Drew Brees. I think it is disingenuous for some of the biggest Lamar fans to pretend as if his prodigious passing numbers are not in part because people defend him in a certain way because he's so great with his legs. That is not a knock.
Right.
That is a compliment. That is, he has a trait unlike any other quarterback we've ever seen that forces defenses to play a certain way that he then, I guess, to your example, Vic had the trait as well. And with respect to our dear friend Michael Vick, Vic couldn't take advantage of those passing looks the way Lamar can. But if defenses start to say, he ain't running, then all of a sudden he gets defended a little differently. And if he doesn't counteract that by them being like, I'm now going to run, it's a problem for them.
Yeah, I think there's a ton of truth there. Lamar has just looked indecisive. That's the thing. He looks uncomfortable, and nothing to do with an injury, because he was playing like this in the beginning of the season too. Even when he was having some success, right? Even when they were putting up a lot of points. I called that out, and I made the joke and said, Lamar looks like you're playing Madden, and you just, like, drop the controller. I couldn't understand it. And to be fair, I noticed that with Jalen Hurts earlier on the season as well. And then I made the joke like, it's like they both went to a seminar together where they were like, stop running, you got to protect yourself. And they were both like, all right, we're 2 running quarterbacks and we're just going to run the ball less. I just made a Philadelphia Eagles clip and I was just kind of saying like, Jalen Hurts, just run. 5 yards and slide. 5 yards and slide. 5 yards and slide. Like that's all you need to do. That's enough, right? If you hand the ball off to Saquon Barkley or Derrick Henry and they get 5 yards, that's a success. You're like, great, perfect. 2nd and 5, right? If it's 3rd and 8, or excuse me, if it's 2nd and 8 and you hand the ball off and you get 5 yards, great. 3rd and short now. 3rd and short, hand the ball off, get 5. Like, 5 yards is everything, man. 5 yards is everything. Just get 5 yards and slide. Like, it doesn't have to be this big monster prolific run. And what makes a Josh Allen, a Lamar Jackson, a Patrick Mahomes so great? And what makes it easier for them to pass beyond really truly gifted passers like a Stafford, like a Joe Burrow, is the fact of like, defenses do have to play you differently. They do have to really make sure that you don't expose them in a different way. And again, Jalen Hurts showed this beautifully against the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. And I showed you the clips where, it was broken down where there were throws to be made that would have been really difficult, low percentage, tough throws that wouldn't have even maybe converted a first down, maybe not. And instead, Jalen's like, I got the lane, I'm taking off. And then he goes off for 19 yards, first down. It ends up being a bigger play, more devastating. The defenses now are like, oh my God, we had everyone covered. We set him up to make like a low percentage throw, and then he tortures us with his leg. It becomes devastating. And Lamar Jackson is doing that a lot less. And it's not even that he's doing it a lot less. He just feels unsure. And weirdly enough, this reminds me of after he lost to the Philadelphia Eagles last year. And he talked about how he's like, man, I'm not playing how I normally play. And he goes, he said, my mom was yelling at me. And he goes, I just got to get back to like what I know. And then I was like, I think he's going to be great from this point forward. I was like, I think there's going to be a great reset button, and Lamar's going to stop trying to play in a certain way, and he's just going to play instinctual and just play how he wants to play. And he did. And that the Baltimore Ravens looked significantly better from that point forward. And so it is a weird thing. I don't watch this game and feel better or worse from the Baltimore Ravens. It's a divisional game. It's a tough game. I mean, listen, it was a close game, and there was a time when you legitimately could have lost against Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel. I mean, Dylan Gabriel was certainly playing better than Shedeur Sanders, that's for sure. So, you can chalk it up to a really tough defense and a tough divisional game. I think that's fair, but like the Ravens do lose that little bit of the benefit of the doubt because of their record, because of how they've played, because of how some of these games have unfolded. So it's a lot easier to chalk a game up like this when you're sitting at 8-2, 8 and 7-3 or whatever. Like it's just a little different. I think I said that going into this game. But I guess now that this game has come and gone and you see kind of how it played, I guess my mentality for this game is kind of just like throw it away. Because it's just becoming more and more clear, and I've said this many times today, just like I just don't know how much it matters. How the Ravens play the Browns, how the Eagles play the Giants, how the Chiefs play the Raiders, how, the Bucks play the Saints, how the Bills play the Dolphins, how do the Ravens play the Chiefs, how do the Ravens play the Bills, how do the Ravens play the Colts, how do the Eagles play the Lions, right? It's like, how do the top teams play the top teams? That's all that matters. And, but yeah, I don't think you feel comfortable right now about what you know, Lamar and this offense, right? I don't think you feel great. You know that before the injury, they were scoring like 30 plus points per game, and like that was all positive, but the defense was problematic. And again, even in this game, like there's really no strong defensive takeaways from this game. You went up against Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, right? Like especially once Shedeur got in there. Like I hope you make Shedeur look lost and confused and overwhelmed. It's his first ever snaps in the NFL. Like he should look very overwhelmed and uncomfortable. So, there's no defensive takeaways either necessarily, but still an important win, still a crucial win, and still a random game that teams typically find ways to lose all the time in the NFL. Literally every single year, every single division. And so I think just the Ravens still coming away with the win is still really important, still really crucial, and still can make you feel positively towards them. It's still important steps in the right direction, considering unfortunately the Ravens are in a hole, and so beggars can't be choosers in this moment of time. Kind of like what Brew was kind of implying about, like, a win is a win. And so, yeah, those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Baltimore Ravens? Lamar Jackson, how do you think he's been playing? Kind of what's been going on with him? Do you feel better or worse about the Baltimore Ravens? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much.